Oh, yeah. There was always a camaraderie from the beginning. They never made us feel like, oh, you're new, and oh, you have to audition. Ever. We were always a part of it.
Lindsey Buckingham has changed his appearance since joining Fleetwood Mac, but he has amplified his principal role in the group.
My main contribution to this band is just to provide a certain direction as an arranger, as a designer of the songs.
As an arranger, Buckingham added a folk rock flavor to many of the group's songs. As a writer, he contributed hits such as Go Your Own Way.
If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. I cannot when you won't take it from me. You can go your own way. You can call it another day. You can go your own way. Go your own way, yeah.
And in Stevie Nicks, the band found a natural performer who shared her belief in fairies and witches, fantasy and magic through her music. During one long tour, she wrote a song called Sisters of the Moon that reveals some of the mysticism and vulnerability in her own personality that audiences invariably respond to.
We toured solid for 4 months. And I was even then wearing all black. And I just walked in front of a mirror and I just looked so frail to myself that it scared me. It was like, who is that little kind of frail looking girl in black, real pale, real blonde, real skinny? And I realized that it was me. And so if I'm talking to someone in this song, I'm talking to myself. So I went, intense silence as she walked in the room. Black rose trailing, sisters of blue, came back through Saturday. Oh, Saturday. And back through the side of Thursday. Oh, Saturday. It was hard to breathe. She was caught in the dark of the day. She called.
5 individuals, 1 band, with a magic that was real and commercial. Their first album together, Fleetwood Mac, sold more than 4 million copies. But as they began work on their next album, Rumors, they also went through a series of changes in their personal relationships that were, as one writer described them, as complicated as the plot of a Russian novel. Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham broke up after a long affair, and it came out in the music they developed for Rumors. The song Dreams described the end of the relationship.
How did you manage to stay together as a band, you know, during all those years that you were breaking up? It's that same thing. There's just a broader sense that the music that we are making collectively is a greater thing than any of us are individually.
At the same time Buckingham and Nicks were breaking up, so were Christine and John McVie. And their changes, too, contributed to the mood of Rumors. Christine wrote the song she says has become her favorite, Songbird. group held together, bolstered by commercial success. Rumors not only reached the incredible sales figure of $14 million, it also received widespread critical acclaim and won the Grammy as 1977's Album of the Year.
Fleetwood Mac!
The success also created unprecedented expectations for their next album. In 1979, with the recession on its way, the nation's $4 billion a year record industry experienced an 11% drop in sales. Executives felt that one of the albums that could bring buyers back into the stores would be Fleetwood Mac's next release.
You become very aware of being in a business once you're that successful. I think you just have to be, and we are, very wary of not letting that stifle what we would normally be doing. We're constantly exploring and trying to do better and better.
The new album was called Tusk, and the title song even featured the University of Southern California Marching Band, recorded in Dodger Stadium to add to its mixture of sound. The album cost over $1 million to produce and included 2 discs at an expensive retail price of $15.98. Not designed to inspire a boom in record sales, although it did overnight go platinum, and the band scheduled a long tour to promote it.
We started this tour in October of last year. We rehearsed for 6 weeks, and the investment in getting new equipment and everything like that was about $1 million before we even hit the road.
It cost between $25,000 and $30,000 a day just to keep Fleetwood Mac on the road. But the investments in luxury jets and the separate limousines that emphasize their individual styles and in music are the group's own decision. The money to produce Tusk was put up by the band, and this time the music was most obviously influenced by Lindsey Buckingham. The sound, he says, has become cruder, looser, basic rock and roll. Although it didn't exactly rescue the record industry single-handedly, Tusk has so far sold 4.5 million albums, a huge amount by any group's definition.
Even if kids do not go back into a record store to buy 10 albums anymore, they will go and buy that one that they feel they have to have. And I think Fleetwood Mac is certainly in that group.
Christine McVie says she'd like to quit the road in a couple of years. John McVie likes concert performing. Lindsey Buckingham prefers designing his music in a studio. But Mick Fleetwood remains, according to Christine McVie, the combination sage and lunatic who keeps them all together with the instinct for change in his head and the rest in his hand.
You see a lot of moments where people are strong, people are weak, and that's the joy of having someone to bounce off. You know, you're ahead of other people in initiative and ideas and things that stimulate all of us in the end. And that's the secret of keeping people together.